Hello, friends. How are we? Happy Friday night. Back on schedule. Doing a Friday night live. Very excited to be here. I'll just wait till I go live because you know it is a little bit delayed. So, hello, hello. Hello, Jennifer. Hi, Vicki. Tony. Yesy. How are you? Um, haven't seen a lot of you guys for a while. Very excited to have you here tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. Hi, Brenda, Julie. Hello, Natalie, Teresa. Hi, friends. How are we? How we doing? Hello, Rachel, my neighbor. How you doing? So very excited to be here tonight. Doing one of my favorite things tonight is gel plate printing. So printmaking using jelly plate and some acrylic paints. I have some stamps, and we're going to keep it's going to be pretty simple because we're gel plating with a purpose tonight. So we're doing printmaking with a purpose, and that will be to create our own backgrounds to make a tag flip book. So that I know, and someone gifted me these earrings. If you're out there and you remember who you are, because my memory is mush, but somebody gifted these. Aren't they beautiful? I love them, love them, love them. So, very excited to play tonight. I've pulled out the things. The plan is tonight to print at least 6 double-sided. I'm going to print both sides of the pages because it's going to be a flip book. So you need to print both sides, or you could print double and glue them together, stitch them together if you wanted to. Hello, Julie Ann, my ding dong. How are you, my friend? I miss you, love you, and can't wait to give you a hug someday soon. Um, but we're going to do tonight, and then I'm wrapping it up with one more live that I have to determine which day it is, dependent on my friend Valerie's schedule, because I'm going to go visit her and sleep over. She doesn't know that yet, but I'd like to have a night of chatting and laughing and filling our creative souls with friendship. So I don't know if she's here tonight, but hoping to do that. Um, and then I need a much needed break because I don't even have a Christmas tree up yet. And I have been all week packing orders, which I'm very excited. I've kind of created a whole new system with that. So it's going very well. For some of my Canadian friends that are like, you only shipped one order, the other one isn't fulfilled. I got you. Just relax because I have to manually go in and do all of the condensed shipping and refunds, right? Saving you guys some money. And then that will happen flip side with my American friends that we are right now, we have almost completed kitting all of the kit only for Discover Create. And tomorrow we're going to go in and get as much of it done. Rich is going to do the first delivery and then the second one by the latest, like Tuesday or Wednesday, and they'll all be out. So definitely, if you want to get your hands on a Discover and Create kit, before Christmas, before the holidays. Definitely look at that now. I will wrap up shipping, probably close the shop down next Thursday, and then it will be closed until about January, like the 10th. So just be aware of that. If you do put an order, nothing will be shipping until January 10th because we're going to shut it all down and give everybody a break for the holidays as is much needed, right? And the other thing I want to talk to you about is I've been streaming and doing these on Facebook and YouTube. And then in the new year, I think I'm going to go exclusively to YouTube because using this streaming platform, the quality of videos isn't really great because I think it takes too much streaming power and my modem is too far away. But I find when I do just YouTube, it's much clearer. So I want you guys to get yourself set up so you can figure out how to use the YouTubes if you are more familiar with the Facebooks. Because until I move it into my new studio, um, I think that we will get better quality from doing it on one platform and just doing the flip camera and all the rest of it, right? Is the YouTube great? Because when I went and watched back the videos from this week, they look kind of blurry. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So let me know. Uh, so yes, because we will be going away on a family vacation over the holidays, and I need to clean my house. I need to unpack my suitcase. Is suitcases and then pack suitcases again for Australia. So I think the YouTube is just, I think it's a better platform, but I don't want anyone to feel that watches it on Facebook that I'm leaving you in the dust. I just think that for streaming, the YouTube is just clearer, but I started all of this on Facebook. So I know for some of you, it'd be like, don't leave us. So we'll check it out. I'm going to figure it out. Okay. Because I could still use a streaming platform for just one of them, and we can check. We'll do a practice run to see if the quality is better, and I don't have to do the little camera flip. I can flip between my two cameras. So we'll figure it out. We'll do all the things. But tonight, it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be doing some prints that the next live is going to be using whatever Christmas collections you have. If you don't have to use Peppermint Kisses, I'm going to use it because it's got my name on it. Kind of have to, or like to, want to. And then it also supports all you guys who are amazing and support me with purchasing my collections with American Crafts. So we're going to make some prints that you want to keep in mind, that you don't want to layer like crazy because they're backgrounds. Like in essence, we're making backgrounds that are simplified, repeated. You can repeat some of these, use the same colors, and then they're going to be the base for the album that you can either cut out as traditional tags, cut out as 4x6s, or use die cuts, which I have some pulled so we can talk about that, right? But very excited to have you guys here. I hope that you are going to play along or eventually play along if it's not tonight. And if you have any questions, let me know as we go through. So this is going to be a very straightforward gel plate printing class as prep to make a really fun tag book or flip book, whatever you want it to be. But I'm going to prep before the next class mats for my photos. I'm going to have embellishments all laid out. I will take a picture of all of it prior to the class to show you what I'm using, and then we will put something together. I have not picked a date yet. It's up in the air, but even if you can't join me live, it's not a biggie. You can watch that during the holidays as an after, like after the turkey has been eaten and you've cleaned up all the gift wrap and you're hanging out, or you have some peace and quiet because maybe you're home alone. You have something to look forward to during the holidays. And then in the new year, we're going to roll right into Discover and Create. That weekend is in February, but I'll start doing some stuff with it. But I'm going to start prepping the class samples, which, oh my goodness, as we pack those kits, I love that collection. So if you haven't taken a peek at it, definitely check it out. It's good. Just the two here, just the two of you in during the holidays. Is that what it is? Is what you're saying? Just the two here? Yeah, no turkey for Christmas. Tamales. I love that. I don't want turkey either. I'm telling you, I'm not a super fan. Not a super fan of the turkey. I will eat it, but meh, I will do other things, right? So very exciting. Do I ship to Australia? I can. You can go online and check it out to see what the shipping rates are. Or you can reach out to Natalie May and see if she has kits left, or Michelle Widows to see if they have any kits left, because it certainly is cheaper for you to not have to pay the shipping. But definitely, I just have to figure it out, right? And it takes a little while. So if you're okay with that, it takes a little while. You're having ham, turkey, and beef. Wow. You are a go-getter, Robin. That's lots of cooking. I love it. My sister-in-law, who is Italian and an excellent cook, is making lasagna for Christmas. I love that. That'll be fun. Let's talk about all those things tonight. All your plans, where you're at with I can't believe how close it is, and I don't even have a Christmas tree up yet, but we're going to do that on Sunday. I need to get a tree up. I need to get into the Christmas spirit. I was talking about you, Valerie. I said, I don't know when part 2 will be. It's all dependent on Valerie and what day we plan to hang out. Hi, Julie. Question. In the new year, will there be a walkthrough of the album made in Adelaide? I'm going to attempt to do that before. Like I'm going to film it. Or do a live. I will let you know. I am just trying to find my leftovers for the bonus class. And one of my friends Simone is going to send me a picture of what's left over. from that class so we can do the bonus layout. But I'll probably have to pull it because I have no clue what I did with the scraps from that layout. But I will do a walkthrough because that is easy. I can just post that. I'll do it on YouTube and put the link in the group, Natalie's private group for that event. So that doesn't take me that long. So I will definitely do that. So you can work on that during the holidays if you would like. So yes, definitely we'll be looking at that as well. But let's flip the camera. See, LOL, she can come over and feel better. I have trees and garland with lights. I just decided to leave them without ornaments. I love it. That's pretty, as long as you got sparkly lights on, right? So let's flip the camera. Let's do the things. Here we go. Here we go. And the sweater's coming off because like we're painting now, right? Why is Natalie excited? What is she excited about? I missed it, Nat. Oh, what did I just do? Sorry. I pressed a button. I hope I'm still here. Just a second. So something weird might go on. Oh, we're still okay. Sorry. I don't know what I pressed, but it took me right out of here. I'm like, oh no, I broke it all. I broke everything. Yay. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to be using my 8x10 gel plate tonight. I'm using 8.5 by 11 sheets. Sorry, just moving my laptop so I can see your comments. Getting my soda ready, because you know that's my treat when I do these, is have my soda ready. So with this, I am going to show you exactly how I'm going to prep. We're going to get it ready. I am going to put down a craft mat. Do this side because it's a little buckly. And I'm going to secure my craft mat and secure my gel plate. It is right now on a, might need a little clean. It's got little fleckies of stuff on it, hopefully. Has not put impressions on the gel plate, but could have happened. So we'll see if I have a nice new pattern on my gel plate. So I'm going to take a little bit of masking tape. And I like to secure the gel plate on the 8.5 by 11 just white sheet so it doesn't move on me. And then I secure my craft mat as well, so it doesn't move on me. Okay, and then I have some sheets for rolling off. The paints I have chosen are just colors that will match with the Peppermint Kisses. So you can do whatever you like. I'm going to do a lot of tone on tone. There's not going to be a lot of mixing of colors, maybe like 2 shades I might do, but I don't really want to compete with the pretty background for my, do I have to straighten that a little bit? Let's see. Yep. There we go. Any questions before we get started as well? Hello, Kristen. How are you? See, I'm seeing all your names pop up and I'm like, oh, I packed your order today, or I printed your invoice. I love that, right? Robin's. I saw Kristen's. Very fun. So things that I've pulled for tonight. You ready? Paper towels, wipes, stencils. So I have some bigger all over stencils that we can use. Just 2 simple patterns. I thought circles and stars. I have a lot of Christmassy kind of theme, right? Circles, stars, in large. These ones are like, these are, I think they're Diane Reevely stencils. And these ones are 9 by 12. And then a bunch of Vicki Boutin stencils. So I have one that kind of looks like snow. I have the one that looks like plaid, this kind of funky snow pattern. 2 of them. Don't need 2. Snowflakes. Just a circle pattern. More circles. Snow. Circles. snow, another snow, and a diamond pattern. You want really, really, really simple, right? We're just really simple. If I feel like using it, we can grab a sheet of bubble wrap, things that you have around. I grab some cups and a lid, and I have a circle punch that is slightly smaller than the cup. So we can create some patterns with this as well. So I'm hoping out of the things that I'm showing you, you have something that's somewhat similar. I have a book paper rubber stamp, I have circle rubber stamp, and I have a script rubber stamp that I can either use on the gel plate or use with ink after if I want to add a little bit of detail to the background. With that being said, I have 2 brayers. You don't need 2. I just like to have 2. So if I don't want to really clean one while I'm working, I have one that's ready to go. I have some sponges, so if I want to add some color through the stencil and have very specific placement, I can use those. I have some of my glaze, but like I did say, if you have some of my friend Simon Hurley's glazes, you can use that as well. And then for my color palette, like I said, I'm keeping it in the Christmas kind of vibe, and I've just gone with pinks, greens, reds. I might grab black, and then I have white for ghost prints, right? I have white for ghost prints, or if I want to add some white to a background. So any questions, my friends? This is your time before we get rolling. The paper I'm using is going to be a little bit heavier card because I'm going to make that mini book out of it. So it's pretty heavy. I would say it is at least 120 pound, but you can use whatever you have. It is definitely a smooth finish. I'm going to ink lots of sections on it because we're going to be cutting. Like my tag book will be either like a 5x7-ish probably, or in or around that. So I should be able to get, right, 2 of those out of each page, 2 pages, right, or 2 bases. I'm going to print the front and the back because I'm using a similar color palette. Even if my hands are dirty and the back gets paint on it, won't matter. Just looks distressed. Okay. So we are going to do that. And this is kind of my color inspiration, is the Peppermint Kisses. So if you want me to do something different, like we could do the whole background. I might, for the most part, I might grab a turquoise and just stay in a whole kind of green palette and then use these as accents. How about that? That might be fun because this will make it like very simple. That pick a green palette. So I'm going to grab maybe one more green and a turquoise, and then we'll keep our base palette in a very simple, clean, because when they blend, you're just going to get new shades of green and turquoise. And then we can add some detail in some of the pinks and the reds. See, I had a little epiphany, a little change of plan as we're going in. Let me put this light down here too, because it's pretty dark. Any questions, my friends? So gel plate printing is one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely love it. I'm going to grab this. Maybe this one. I might not use all these, but now I have greens, okay? So my palette is just greens and a turquoise. What do you recommend? I have a hard time picking an acrylic. This is my favorite acrylic paint for gel plate printing is Liquitex. You can get, it's very easy to find. It is inexpensive. It's not like dollar store inexpensive, but it is definitely like a art student grade acrylic. I find that it's a heavier body, meaning it resists flow. It's a thicker one. So you need very little and it goes far. Other paints that I use are, I have the, oh, here's a navy. I was going to grab a navy, right? Is the Amsterdam is a great ink paint as well. I use this too. So these I find can be a little tougher. The thinner ones, you can use the fluid acrylics. I have all of these. So I'll use it, but you don't have the opacity with these. You can use your Americana, but again, you don't have the same opacity. I like to use Liquitex, and I find that I can just walk into Michael's or into Blick or any of the art stores, and I can get the colors that I need, and they often go on sale, right? And then I have my 8x10. I use a 12x12, the 5x7. The reason I like to do this, and I'll do it on Friday nights, is that you don't have to use a huge sheet of paper, right? It'll work with 8.5x11 paper. So that's the other reason I like to use the smaller plate. Okay, Amazon. Yep, you can get on Amazon. I really need to be smart. I am terrible, if you noticed, with using all the share sale links. I really am terrible. It should all be up there. One day I'm going to be that organized, because that is my plan for the new year. It's another reason for the break, is I want to plan all of my Friday night lives for like at least 3 months out. So you guys know way ahead of time. There's going to be a whole schedule. I'm going to be working on that when I'm on my vacation, and then getting that up there, because I think it'll be smart that we can plan the 10 plus layouts, the different classes that I'm going to do, the Friday night lives. So it is one of my plans, and I should have Amazon links. Wouldn't you think that would be a smart thing? Because like I always say, it costs you guys nothing, but it certainly helps, because I do a lot of lives. So I do a lot of free classes on top of the ones that, well, really, all my classes are free. You only ever end up paying for the product, right? All of the education that I bring, I always offer just as an added bonus. Yeah, but I don't have Amazon ones set up, Natalie. I did it incorrectly the first time, and I've just never gone in and fixed it. Because there again, the other thing Vicki needs is a little bit more free time, right? It'll be a good thing. So I have my paper ready. Here is the plan for tonight. I even made myself some notes, like what do we want to do? So some we're going to just go in and make a base color. So instead of using white cardstock, we're going to color it with just putting an application of paint down on the gel plate and pick it up. So when we go and use the stencil or other things, we can already have a base color that will show through some of the patterns. The other thing we're going to do is put where we can add and subtract. So meaning we can put the stencil down, put over the ink or the paint, and then lift that pattern through the stencil. We can also lift the stencil and lift the pattern that's under the stencil. So we're going to do a couple of additions, subtractions, and ghost prints. So ghost print where we let everything dry and then pick it up with white acrylic paint. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do at least two applications, and I'm going to use my lighter colors. Okay, so let's start with the green. And that's all I'm going to start with. Less is more. You can always add, but you can't take away, right? So I'm going to kind of get that around my plate. The biggest thing with gel plate printing is you do not need a lot of paint. You want this to be almost like an onion skin layer. If you put too much paint down, you aren't really pulling a print. You're lifting just wet paint. Always flip your brayer over so it doesn't glue to your base. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pull a green print. I don't care if it's centered, doesn't matter, right? So I'm going to lift. So some of the paint will come on here, some won't. It's all good. Oh, look at, and we can see how dirty Vicky's plate was, because there's a hint of orange that was already on my plate. Love it. So see all these? I'm cleaning up my dirty plate with that pull as well. I'll take a wipe and I'm going to give it just a wipe. Does anybody else have any questions? So have you watched kind of gel plate printing, but you're like, I don't know if this is my jam? Like Vicki talks about it all the time, but I don't feel like that kind of art is for me, or maybe you can't do it. You feel you have limitations. It really is super easy as long as you keep. I'm just cleaning. My plate was a little bit dirty. Those little flecks off. Not that it matters because it does just add to the pattern, right? So that is a pretty bright green, right? Like that application with the dirty from the last time is on there. Um, we can do a little turquoise one. So you see what I'm saying? Do you find you put way more paint than that down? So we'll do a turquoise one. Like I said, I'm just moving that all around my plate, covering the whole plate, getting a nice even consistency. All right. Clean my brayer. And I will lift a new sheet. So this is called pulling a print, right? So maybe the wrong paint. Something I haven't tried is mixing more translucent paints with opaque paints. Do they work together? Any tips? I think as long as they're both acrylic, you should be fine. It's just going to water your paint down a little bit, but you know what? It's a piece of paper in your time. Give it a try, right? So now this one is a little bit turquoise, but it is also picking up any of the green paint that was kind of remaining on the plate. So look at how pretty. It's just a nice textural pattern, right? So let's do one that's kind of two-tone. Vicki uses her phone on YouTube. The stream does not allow for captions. Captions only work when there is a delay in the feed, either Facebook or using a streaming surface. So we'll have to research that in the new year, Natalie. Because look, friends, I want this to be inclusive. So if there's a way with a little bit of research and education that I can figure that out, I am totally game. So I'm going to put a little bit of that green. And now I'm going to put some turquoise on this side, and then we can make a secondary color where the two blend in the middle. Okay. So for this one, I am just going to pull this print with that color, the blend of those two. And then we can do some other things too, right? So simple prints. Well, and I'm going to get a new camera in the new year too, Nat. So that's where I just need to talk to somebody who helps with the whole, look how pretty that is. The whole streaming side of things, so that I can figure out how to do the things, right? So let's do that same color now again, but we're going to put a stencil down and lift the pattern. So we can have a white background if we wanted to, right? I'm going to use this green instead. Maybe 3 greens. Let's put a little bit of this down, which is kind of a grassy green. That one is called light green permanent. This one is called light olive green. And then this one is bright aqua green. So let's do a little bit of a three color pull. I'm going to start with the turquoise. Okay. Again, what is the key, friends? You don't want too much paint on your plate. If you get too much paint on the plate, what you end up doing is if you go to pull your print and it moves on you like this, it goes squirt. You have too much paint on. So you're not, it needs to feel like it sticks right to that plate. I have a weird thing going on there where I put that paint down. Okay, let's see what we're gonna get. So we're gonna do half and half. Well, actually, let's do this. I'm gonna put a full stencil down, and I'm gonna use one of the ones that we did already. So the back side of it, I'm gonna pull the pattern through the circles, which sometimes this brayer's clean, okay? There's nothing on it. You could add pressure to just lift because you have to get inside that, and this paper is a little bit thicker, but I'm okay if I don't have a full print, right? Look how pretty. Okay. Now we can put another color in here and do that's a lot of paint. So let's just go with that. And I know this one is not as opaque. Let's get that in, roll that paint in. We're going to lift the stencil and we'll pull that kind of two-tone pattern with the colors that are already on the base of that plate. Some of it bled. I can see there was a lot of paint. It bled under the stencil, but we'll be fine. I'm going to lift some sections. Okay. Let's lift the stencil off and pull that pattern. Eek. I always get confused that the layers are kind of upside down. Yeah, it's a whole different thing, right? So now we have the base that was on the plate, right? This came through the stencil, removed the stencil, and created that pattern. And let's see if we can transfer any of this. Sometimes I'll try. Let's do an offset of those circles. And I'm just going to see if I sandwich, if we can pick up any of that pigment on the dirty stencil. A little bit. See, there's a little bit. Oh, look it. And there is some of that green. So what color do I want to put through here now? Because if I go and put the peach in here, the peach is going to act, let's just do some black. That's not enough black, but, and then I'm going to throw this stencil in the sink. So let's put a little bit more black. So there's things now we can do in that black. If you don't want it to be super, super black, is you can lift it. Now the script will be opposite, right? But we still could go in here and lift some of that pattern with the stamp just to create a script pattern. Wipe that immediately with your baby wipe because it's acrylic paint. We're gonna, now things you could do, I want to show you with just one of these scraps. You could, if you wanted, put this down and lift part of the pattern out and then put another color on. But we'll do that next with when we do the, let's see if I talk too long and I can actually lift this one or not. So we'll see if we can lift it or not. We'll lift the black. I just don't know if we'll get the turquoise now. It might have dried. Right? I don't know if we will get the turquoise or if it dried. But if it is still on here, oh, wait till you see this. How fun is that? So I'm going to go throw this stencil in the sink and we'll come back and do a little bit more. Just a second. It's who I am, friends. You just got to give me a minute. I can't leave that stuff. And I don't have a pail of water with me. So I just got to give it a quick scrub because it makes cleaning so much less if you do it while your paint is wet. So just give me 1 minute. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. Thank you for your patience. I have a problem. I have to clean that stuff because it really bothers me. But I feel better. There we go. Right, so what have we done so far? Let's look at, because we're going to be lifting this. See that hint? Let's do that first, and we'll start with a clean plate. So let's be, well, I don't want to get too crazy, right? We're supposed to keep this pretty tonally the same. Where did I put there? Let's put this one. Let's lift with this or white. I'm going to lift with white. I'm going to lift with white because I'll show you a ghost print. So this is dry now. This paint's all dry. So if you go in now with a very thin onion skin layer of white, you can create what's called a ghost print. This might be a little dirty. Let's give it a white. So what a ghost print is you're going to lift what is dry on your plate using white as a binder. The white is going to bind the pattern, that dry paint, to your sheet of paper. Now, see, as soon as you use black, you would want to go in, I'll just use the clean stencil, okay? Or the clean brayer. So clean brayer, I'm going to apply this white in a very thin layer so it is actually gluing what's going on this background to my paper. So right now, too thick. Take a nice thin layer of paint and we will lift this pattern. It's called a ghost print. Trying to roll some of those lines up. Oh, good catch, Vicki. So let's take our sheet. And lift that pattern. Hi, Dawn, how are you? So what this is doing now, right, is that sheet, the paint on the plate was dry, right? It was dry. It had dried, there was no moisture left in it. By then putting that layer of white, it doesn't reconstitute the paint, but it actually glues the paint. That's kind of like it acts. Ooh, my glue tape is not working. Watch. Brayer quality is important. It does matter. I like the brayers that are on the base like this, not the wire ones. I find they're a little too bouncy. So you ready? So now I was able to lift what was remaining on my plate. The wet paint allowed me to get that ghost print. So what have we done so far? That's the dirty plate. It was dirty from this. This was also part of the dirty plate, right? We lifted that while it was wet. This was the first print off that plate. This is kind of the order it went in. We had covered a whole plate in color like that. The whole plate was in that color. Put a stencil on top and then lifted this through the stencil. So that was in all the open spots in the stencil. And then stencil was still in place and I put some green through the stencil, lifted the stencil and was able to pull that base color and the green. Then I pressed that onto the dirty plate, lifted a little bit, put black through it, got this print, right? Got that print, and then ghost print. So this is what we have so far, right? Doo-doo. And some solids. But I want to do all these papers. So what else can we do? Let's look. So we can add pattern onto some of those backgrounds. So we have, this is a lot of business going on, right? For a background. That's a lot of business going on. It's a lot of contrast. I might want to find a way to soften that. So let's figure out what we can do there. I don't want to put pink in there, right? Because this is all for my Christmas. And I don't, a little bit maybe, we'll do a sheet of the pink. But I'm also, I think, going to soften a side of that. So I'm going to literally put a layer that we're going to pick up and put on top of that. I'm going to put a whole layer, a strip that goes down, maybe even in like black. I might pick up some black. So let's look. Because, you know, if I don't like it, guess what? If I don't like it, I can just do another one, another sheet of paper. That's a lot of paint. I'll take some of it off before I start trying to put it all over the plate. We can lift a little bit of pattern out of it with our stamp or bubble wrap. This will be a perfect spot or time to use a bubble wrap, right? Of course, we wipe our rubber stamps right away. Just give that a wipe. And I'm going to lift it. Maybe just on that side. Maybe here. And now I can have like kind of quiet that side down. So when I go to mat a photo on there, I have that pattern going on. And we'll lift a little bit of this too on one of our scraps. Just so it tonally is the same, right? fun. I know for some of you, black is not going to be where it's at for you. You don't have to use the black, right? You don't have to use the black. And then let's take, because it's messy, right? Once that's on there, it's everywhere. I'll wipe that off. Get rid of those. And now we're going to build maybe a layer we can lift up, okay? So what other pattern do we want to put on here? And I'm going to show you some things that we can do on here too, because we could totally layer some gold on top of that. Could be fun. So we have black going on here. We have our backgrounds. Still have lots that we can add on. Let's put some pink on there for Natalie. This is kind of the peachy color that's in the Peppermint Kisses collection. I'll lift that, and then we can do some other things on top. Very fun. Very fun. What else can we add down the middle of that? Let's go in. I'm going to put this pattern on, and we're going to add through this pattern with the darker pink. So I'm going to put some on the side, and I'm going to add it through with my sponge now, okay? So we're going to create that pattern with the sponge. You could brayer it on if you want to, right? You could brayer it. I just feel like I could make this kind of fun broken-y pattern. And I'm gonna try to position this-ish. See if I can't continue that down. The page. The page. The plate. Okay, let's see. What do you think? Anybody playing along tonight? Oh, that's very pretty, isn't it? Very pretty. I love that. I'm going to set that aside and give this a quick wipe, right? So I will open up my paper towel and just give that paint a wipe. Anybody playing along tonight? Because even if you're not in the Christmas mood, you could be doing this with any collection, right? Maybe you just got a new Simple Stories one that you love, that you want to add. Doing my nails and drinking champagne. Love it. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I got this one done for the holidays, right? My snowman with paint all over it right now. And a snowflake. And then before we go on holidays, I will get another one done. Doing cross stitch, but I'm definitely saving this for later. I hope so. That'll be fun. Okay. I'll wipe that up because I'm done with that. And let's look at wrapping gifts with 146 friends. I love it, Anne. Is that stencil from Peppermint Kisses? It might be. You know, Teresa, that I'm terrible with knowing those things, but it is definitely either from Peppermint Kisses or Warm Wishes. It is one of the Christmas ones, right? You're working on your coffee. I'll be there with you, friends. That's why I said a break is in my imminent future. So this is pretty bright for me. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to be crazy. And I want to tone this down. So I'm going to go in with a whole green layer on top of part of this and then in with gold. Green? Yes. I'm going to go in with green and I'm going to make it this green. And who knows, if I don't like it, I don't have to keep it, but that's too bold for background. You're addressing your Christmas cards. Good for you. That is awesome. So let's, oop, look at, there's black on there. See that? Did you see that just happen? We'll put this down. Start another sheet. Vicky's making a mess. But I want to kind of blend and make a little bit different color. So this is not going to be like a full on. We're going to do something here. Let's think what we could do. Wow, that's a dirty. I might go in. Is that crazy? I'm going to lift part of that. It's not going to rub all over. So soften that green a little bit, okay? And now let's look and add some other colors. I am going to go in and do this green. Pick up some stars. Very fun. And now let's put another color through those stars. You know what we're going to do? Some gold. Palette knife, where are we? There we go. So this is my gold glaze. If you have it, that's awesome. If you don't, you can just use Simon's or a different product, right? But let's go on now. So I'm going to do two different things here because I might add this twice. I'm going to put that on the back of this sheet. Lift some of that to see what we get because we should get some. Ooh, how pretty that is. And then we're also going to add a little bit more of that. Actually, let's see what happens if we do this. Oh, so pretty. Look at that. So you see the hints of the black in there. Love it. But see what's going on here? This is set now. It's dry. So let's go in and create a ghost print from that. Cleaning my brayers. Just because there's gold on here now, I'm going to take that off. So we're going to deposit some color. on here, a different pattern, and then we're going to pick it up with white. Okay, so right now, right, we have a couple different prints that we pulled from that, and then we can pick it up with some white. So I'm going to go down on the bottom here, and we're going to brayer a little bit of that pink. And because this is dry, right, I'm not going to make mud because I am putting that pink on top of dry paint. So the pink is not going to mix with the green. It's going to be all on its own. I'm trying to get that gob of white off, but I can't right now, right? So let's go on here and do that thing of pink. So let me also tell you though, I don't want that full-on color. So I'm also going to take, what do we have here? Which one do I want to layer this on that we already printed? We have more, right? Yeah, let's see. So we can put some of that pink on this green on its own, on this one, on that. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to put some on there. So I'm going to pick some of that pink up, but it's also on the stencil. So I'm going to have pink and pink. That picks up that up. So now I have that layer of pink and pink because it picked up through the stencil and then left a halo where the pattern is. But now it is freaking awesome pattern because I'm not layering a whole layer of pink. I'm layering pink where we pulled part of the center out, right? So let's clean that stencil off. I don't care if it's perfect. I like to clean my stencils in between or put them in, if I was organized enough, in water right away. Only because your acrylic will start building up and you lose the integrity of the pattern. And so that's my only thought. I know lots of people are not of that school. They never clean their stencils, and that's okay too. You do whatever works for you. But I have a little bit of control issues, so I tend to clean my stuff while I'm working. So just give me a little second and let me show you the next magic step. So I'm just cleaning the star stencil a little bit. I find, can you guys hear me? Tell me when I come back. By cleaning your stencil in water as opposed to with a wipe, you get more of the pigment off a lot faster, right? I will. It will come off. The brayer is always clean, right? Okay, so now we have a layer of pink. There's some green, there's some gold. We could lift this with a color, but if you lift it with a color, the color has to be lighter than what is on here. So that's why I go with white. You could go with a cream. You could lift this with a cream color paint. Do you want to do that? But it has to be quite a bit lighter. And I don't have one. I'd have to make it. I'd have to make it. So we won't do that. I'm not going to do that. But let's add some more pattern on here. Okay, we'll add, do we want? Just waiting for that pink to dry a little bit. We can also cheat and just pick some of it up, right? Pick a little bit of it up. Right? So once this is dry to the touch, we can put white on it. I'm going to add one more pattern. Let's decide what we want that to be. We could add some snow, couldn't we? Like just some dots? Sure we could. We can do whatever we want, Vicki. So I'm going to add just a little bit of dots in navy. Put a navy, a little bit of navy snow. Okay. A little bit of navy. And now, once this dries, we can lift this with some white. Okay? Very fun. Hello, Diana. How are you? You clean your stencils all the time? Yeah, so when I was over by the sink, you can still hear me? Perfect. I have to say, when I start doing some of these videos in my new studio, I have a sink, but it's nowhere near where I'd be filming. So I will have to have a thing of water. Well, actually, there's a sink out the door, the kitchen sink in the new space, but okay. So as soon as that navy dries, we're going to put a layer of white and show you what we can get. Now, you could put a layer of white and we could still pick it up on another color. Make it, do you want me to make it really, really subtle? Because we could lift it on here, right? We could lift it on here where it'll be a very subtle pattern, which could be fun. Why don't we try it? And I'll give you another thing. You could lift it instead of with white acrylic paint. You can lift it with a matte acrylic gel. So let me show you that option. I have zero patience. So I'm going to say it's ready to go. So let me show you, because this is just going to do the same thing that the white paint did, but it's clear. So I'm not adding any pigment. I'm going to lift it now with my acrylic gel. So what that will do is it will not be diluted, the pigment, when I put it on my green background. Let's try it. I need the lasagna tray. I know, but I have a sink right across from me, right? Joan, it makes it kind of hard. Got to just go over there and use the sink. Are you ready? Get ready for it. Here we go. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So we lifted it with clear, so that's why it's still very vibrantly lime green, right? Very vibrantly lime green, and picked up all the dirty edges that were still remaining. Love that. Very fun, right? That was a fun one. So let's print a few more here. Let's do another ghost print. Okay, we'll do another ghost print. So I'm going to do one that is metallic snow. So we're going to do two colors in here. Let's go in with a navy snow and then gold on top of it, okay? So let's do a layer of that. We can do some navy snow. I am really crazy because I really tried to keep, like, it's getting crazy in here. So put the stuff back and then you can find what you need a little faster. Let's do that. We're going to pounce some navy snowflakes. I will need more paint. Oops, that's a lot of paint. So look, it's not thick. I'm still putting a very thin layer because you don't want it to bleed underneath that stencil. Make sure when you press that stencil on that it's in place too, right? So it still stays in the stencil pattern. Okay. I'm going to move that down. Got to watch because the paint is wet. But I just want the repeat to be somewhat in a row. So I'm holding the top of the stencil so it's not sitting in that wet paint. Very fun. When are we gonna put this on? I would like to do it, I think, on that turquoise. Do I have just a plain turquoise? We'll do it on here. Look on here. So I'm gonna pick that navy up. And I only press part of it. So now we have a snow pattern. But look what's still remaining. How fun is that gonna be? So we can pick that up on another one. So let's put some gold down now. Let's wipe our stencil. That has to go in the water. It has a lot of pulley parts in that stencil, so you're better off to scrub it rather than use a baby wipe because it all gets torn up and pulls the stencil. Much easier to throw it in the sink. Wash your hands a little bit if you're like that. And it drives you crazy a little bit. It does. I don't mind the getting dirty, but I do like the cleaning up. Okay, let's add a little gold on here in a different pattern. Let's add some gold in a different pattern. It's easy, let it go. So I'm going to go in here and add some gold. And I'm just going to brayer it. Let's just make it this easy. Where are you, gold? Where are you, gold? There you are. Yes, that stencil ate your foam blender. Yes. You have to be careful with that one, don't you? That's why I said don't scrub it. So much paint on that. It's gonna make my hand very messy. I'm gonna lift some of that on one of them. Let's do it on this one. You know that one that has a lot of business going on it? Where are you? What was the first karaoke of the evening? What did I do? I don't know. What was it? Am I singing that song that's in my head? It's easy, let it go. Believe me, Adia. I don't even know how that got in there, but it's in there. It's renting space, right? So I'm just putting some pattern down on here because we're gonna do something else on this to take it all down a notch. So I am gonna do a whole bunch of crazy on here and then do something to eliminate the crazy. So let's take this up. I put a few more over here. I didn't know that I was doing that out loud, just so you know. Serenity. I don't even know how that song got in my head. Hello, Michelle from Australia. How are you, my friend? How's things? Okay, there. There. Scrub. Scrub. So we'll clean the gold off. We're going to let this, I'm going to lift some of that up. I'm going to sneeze first, though. Excuse me. I felt it. I felt it brewing. I'm going to lift some of that gold because it's very chunky. So let's just lift a little bit of it on the back there. It's the chunky, thicker parts. Okay. Thank you. I felt it coming, right? So I'm loving this, what's going on here. I'm going to lift this on white. So you know what I want to add, though, is a little bit of a pink edge. So I'm going to put paint down and I'm going to brayer it on just the edges. So when I lift it with white, I just have that kind of pink. And I'm going to lift some of it. Just that little hinty of pink. But this is very heavy, so let's take some of that off. With one of our, we'll do it right on here on this gold. Lift a little bit of that edge. Oh, I love it. It attached to some of the gold dots. There. So when we lift this now with the white, we're going to have that navy, we're going to have the gold, we're going to have the pink. And as soon as this dries, we can lift this as a ghost print. But I also love it on here. Just kind of that little bit around here. Doo-doo. What was I doing? Wipe. Clean my two very dirty brayers. So as soon as this, so you get this, right? We're doing a ghost print. It has to be dry. We're going to lift it with white because I want it on a white base. We're cleaning off our two brayers. So when we go to use our next color, it is not contaminated. Hello, Carrie. How are you? It's hot with bad storms about. Yes. Are you in you're in Australia too, right? I would think when you guys are getting like 42 degrees and all that kind of stuff that you're getting some doozies of thunderstorms, right? That usually happens. So has everyone done their Christmas shopping? Are you wrapping? I think I've bought like one Christmas gift because we're not really doing gifts this year because we're having an experience, right? Instead of presents this year, we're going on a family vacation. So there are not a lot of, can you see that with the gold? Are you digging that, my friends? Okay, let's clean up this mess that we've created here as well. messy. And then that, I feel like it's dry. Doesn't take long, right? So what are we going to put on here now? White. Sorry, I'm back and forth. I'm making Christmas fudge. I love that. What flavor is it? What flavor fudge do you make? I'm painting Christmas cookies. That's awesome. You wish you could do a vacay instead of stuff? We've done it now. This will be our 3rd year that we go away during New Year's. So we're home for Christmas for my mom and dad, and then we go away for New Year's. And we have loved it. And this one is going to be a really amazing cruise. We're going to Puerto Rico. We're going to Tortola, Puerto Rico. Where else? St. Martin, Dominican. So it's going to be fun. And my brother's coming, and my sister-in-law, my nephew, and then my kids, significant other, and best friend from forever, Mackenzie. So I think we're going to have a really good time. Okay, are you ready? So now we're going to lift that pretty. Let's see what we get. Making tags for gifts with molding paste and stencils. I love that. Peanut butter fudge as well. Taking a break from packing, moving into our new home on Thursday. Congratulations, Tracy. Hello, Michelle. Oh, I made fudge too. I owe Anne Marie some because you forgot it for her birthday, bad friend. I'm sure she will be excited. I would love if you guys brought me fudge so I don't have to make anything, because I really feel like it's going to be one of those Christmases this year. I don't have it in me. I'm tired, dudes. I just need a break. That's what I need. I just need a break. Oh my goodness. Are you ready for this beautifulness? I love that. Look at that. So it is gold and navy with that hint of pink. I love that. Very pretty, right? Very pretty. So let's finish the backs of some of these. Let's just keep going now, friends. Just keep going, because I need a back and front on some of my favorites. So we're going to do something else now. You ready for it? So take one of your scraps. Let me get a sheet. And we're going to make some masks. So now we're going to make masks. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to punch some circles. We're going to put these down. We're going to add paint in a dark color. Or all in gold. You could do this all in gold. Okay. So I'm going to take these circles that I just punched, and I'm going to create a pattern. So some can go right off. I might need more. We'll see. We'll overlap one. I'm still laughing, Serenity, that I was singing and didn't even realize I was doing it. Don't you think that? Oh, I'm a special one, aren't I? So see what's going to happen now. We're going to decide which pattern. So when we put these circles down and we do a darker color, when we put one of these patterns, all that will show through is what is masked. So we need a pattern. I feel like I want it to be this one. And I have to decide what, it already has black on it, so there's not much we can do on that edge. But whatever color goes down here needs to be more opaque. So we're going to do a few things on this first, okay? adding a little bit more pattern. So I'm going to stamp in some of these spaces as well. So let's just grab some black ink and we'll stamp in here somewhere too. Oh, here, let's do it in the scripts. In the script, stamp. And let's carry some of that black. Okay. And what else do we want to put on here? Because what's going to happen is when I put this other color on top, it's going to negate everything underneath that. The only thing we're going to end up seeing is what is left through these circles. So we're going to have that green, some of the lime color, some of the gold show through. I don't know what business is going to go on here. My paper stuck to my gel plate in spots. So peel it off and then put some water, like mist your plate and clean it with a baby wipe. You left it on too long. The paper is thin, so it's okay, Tina. It's just the print that you pulled. You can get your paper off. You just have to wet it and rub it off. Okay. You might be using a little bit too much paint. A lot of times that's what happens. Do you feel when you put your prints down, does it slip a little? If it slips, like that paper should almost instantly stick to your background. If it moves, you have too much paint on your background. Okay? So when this gets stuck on here, the only thing that's going to show is everything else is going to be covered. And the only thing that's going to show is what's in any of these open spaces. So do I want to be more conscious of where they are? Maybe. Maybe I want that there. Because I like the gold in that section, right? And maybe because that black's on the top, we're only going to have some of those going on. Okay, let's try it. So when I put this on here, I could go in, has to be darker. I'm going to go in with this one. I think it'll work. Let's try it. I might have to put some navy with it. We'll see. Because some of these are not super, like this one almost has a little translucency. It's not as opaque. But maybe with a little navy. Let's see what happened. Oh, that's black. That's black, Vicki, you crazy? It's a lot of paint on here. So a lot of this is going to end up having to come off, right? And also other thing you have to watch is when you start doing this is that you don't overwork it. And what ends up happening is you lift your masks up. Like this is a lot of paint right now. I'm going to have to work this paint a little bit. So what am I going to do? I'm going to lift my circles off now. Okay. I don't want the circles on the plate. I need to lift those circles off. Because that's what it's all about. So let's lift off the circles. So I'm using tweezers because my fingernails are thick. And if I go in here and try to lift them with my fingers, I'm going to remove the paint where I don't want to remove the paint. Also, don't poke into your gel plate. Be conscious of not scratching your plate, because then you will permanently have that mark on your plate. Let's see what we get. Let's try it. Oop. See you later, Trina. How did that work, Tina Marie? Oh, I love it. Oops, look what I just did. My finger was dirty. So I want to work through why your paper stuck. It could be. Oh, I love it. I love that. So now that pattern, which was a lot of business going on, I have toned it down with the navy. Okay, that makes me happy. And then I'm going to leave my dirty plate and keep working with that with the next print. Because we still have some backgrounds to do, right? Thanks. The paper came off pretty with just a few torn spots, which you totally can use, right? But I'm totally digging that. And then we will stencil something totally in gold at the top that will layer on that black background. Well, it's kind of navies, right? It was a navy and the green. And then I can see my circles in the background. So totally digging that. Okay. And I have something on the front and the back. And because I got it a little, well, I'm going to die cut it anyway. So I think it'll be fine. But love that. What do you think? What do you think? So we have to do something on the background of that. Finish. So I'm going to get one. This one. Who's playing out there with me? Anybody? This one. We can add a little bit more. There's nothing on the back. The pink. I feel like I'd like to put a little pink, a hint of pink on that one and lift that. Totally digging that. Hi.
Where'd Jen go?
Jim, probably. Or she might have went and got ready at her friends. I don't know. She didn't come and tell me. So I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, I love that too.
Because I was the bronze champion. And then I wasn't.
And then you weren't? Nice story. He was almost a bronze champion. Not sure what that means, but sounds exciting. So let's add a little bit of red on that one, and we'll lift it with pink, okay? Everybody, hi, Rich. He was at tennis. He is back now, and I'm still here. Sidecar. He is laying on the floor stretching. Hello, Natalie. I've watched while I sew a crochet blanket I started 3 years ago as a gift. I love it. Better late than never, right? UPS just dropped off more gifts for wrapping. I love it, Mary Pat. Everybody's saying hello, Rich, and you haven't said hello once. You're dying? He's laying on the floor. Look how pretty that color is. Don't be rude, though. Your fans are saying hello to you. He's laying on the floor. He will be conscious hopefully shortly and says hello and isn't a Rudy. A Rudy forever. Oh, look it. How about if we do like a little bit of red plaid down the side? So we'll get our makeup sponge. And I'm going to add it in. This one is called Cadmium Red Deep Hue. And we're going to put a little bit of red on that one. Your friends still think you are nuts to play tennis. That's what Serenity thinks you're nuts. Why do you think he's nuts? Gonna hurt his feelings, Serenity. He's an athlete. Did you hear that, friends? You're something else, dude. I'm an athlete. Okay, sir.
I didn't say I was a king. I said an athlete.
I'm still laughing. I'm an athlete. Okay. That was kind of random. Did you guys know that? Tennis is too much work, Serenity said. He played for years, though. So
I tell Kari I couldn't find a pickleball freaks around here.
yeah, pickleball. Kari's not here. She went to a Martina McBride, I think it is, concert. She's
new country.
No, that's not New Country. She's been around for a long time. That is not New Country. Martina McBride is not New Country, Mr. Booton, who does not know music, so don't be offended at all. He likes country music now with his daughter. That's pretty, friends. Don't you? You are a fan of the country. I have to clean as I go.
I was gonna jump in the camera.
Were you?
Up on the camera, because you left.
Well, I don't think you should jump up on the camera, dude.
It's dead time over there.
Yeah, he said I had some dead space. He was going to come and jump in.
Do some artwork.
He was going to make some art. Oh, you guys would have been in for a treat, wouldn't they? Okay, so let's do a little bit of gold in there too. What pattern are we going to use? She's like Selena Dion and around longer. Yeah. She is old country and is awesome. Yep. Yeah, she's been around for a long time. But you two are so cute laughing together. We're something else, aren't we? But I'm laughing when he comes down here. He's an athlete. That was just kind of random. Rich was just letting us know.
It's just funny that you're like shutting it down.
I'm not saying you're not an athlete. I'm not denying that claim. I just think
it sounds that way. Yeah, you're an athlete.
I just think that was kind of like, well, Serenity, I'm an athlete. I get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, I pay to play.
Well, I have to laugh because I don't watch the footballs or whatever. And now, what's this? The Travis, who's the dude dating Taylor Swift? So now I didn't know that his brother was the guy that they were hanging out with. So I'm right into watching their podcast because those two are really funny. What are their names? Come on, you're an athlete. You must know the sports.
Kelsey, isn't it?
And who's the brother?
I can't remember the brother's name.
So one of you guys out there are going to know that. Who's the brother? Travis Kelsey's brother with the funny wife. So that is what I have been. So Devin's back, hon. I hear her up there. Jason Kelsey, thank you. Do you guys watch their podcast or listen to it? I watch it because I just watched the little snapshots of it. But have totally been enjoying that. I don't watch the footballs, so I don't really understand what's going on, but I have enjoyed watching those guys. They're pretty funny. Okay, let's see. We got to now lift a little bit of that gold off, right? So where do we want to put it? Where do we want to put it? They're funny, right? And so that's what, I guess there was a coach that had drafted both of them. And then the coach said that like what's his name? Jason was like a total professional, like he adored him. And then he meets Travis and he's super cocky and Travis is killing himself laughing. Like it was very funny to watch. and saying, the coach was saying to himself, I can't wait to break his spirit because he's such a cocky thing. So I was very much enjoying watching the footballs guys that I don't really understand because I don't watch the footballs, but they were funny. So I was digging whatever they were talking about, and it was just the whole Taylor Swift thing that led me to it because I'm like, that guy's cute. Hope you don't dump this one, Taylor. He's a cutie. So are you guys out there foot into the footballs?
That's so stupid.
Okay, Mr. Athlete. I'm stupid, but he says to Serenity, she's like, why are you playing the tennis? I'm an athlete. Okay, dude. Love it. Oh, you are funny. I'm an athlete as he's laying on the floor dying in the fetal position.
You don't have to tell my fans that.
Well, they should know what their athlete is up to. So funny.
Stretching it out.
Look at how fun that is, guys. That's going to create a really nice pattern on that one. I'm loving that. Now, let's put a little bit because I took almost all of it off doing my crazies. See, Rich is an athlete and I'm an artist. That's what I'm going to say, hun. You're an athlete and I'm the artist. See, we're like Taylor and Travis. There you go.
A couple $1 billion short.
Couple $1 billion short, man. We're I don't know, the Burger King version.
Bargain Harold.
Bargain Harold's version of Taylor and Kelsey. Welcome to the Rich and Vicki show. This is going to be so pretty when we lift this one. So let's just do another little pattern down here. Oh, you never know what you're going to get, right, Rich? You should come down, hang out with us more often. It's funny. We are
Get made fun of.
we're the Taylor and the Kelsey, the Vicki and the Rich. Very funny. Very, very funny. Put a little bit more red down here. What'd you say? I'm an athlete. Are you still here, Serenity? See what you started? It's funny stuff. Where's Devin to hear this? Well, she wouldn't probably know who we're talking about. She would know who Taylor is, but I don't think she is a Swiftie. So I don't know if she knows the whole Travis Kelsey part. I just love how those guys adore their mom. They have quite the family relationship going on. I think it's kind of awesome. Devin is upstairs. It is Friday night, so she's getting ready to go out. As you do when you're a youngster. There we go. I can't wait to pull this print. It's going to be very pretty. I'm going to put a little bit more gold down here. I am laughing. See, and you know Serenity has met you. Well, she's met both of us in person. So she is well aware of the crazy.
She's sidecar original.
I think she is a sidecar original, isn't she?
She is. I remember. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where those ones are. I haven't heard from Lindsay in DC in a long time. I don't know where those two are. Not here causing trouble like usual. Okay, so just creating a pattern. This is like one of these ones which is fun because you don't have to rush through to finish it. But you can create a beautiful ghost print That's what Serenity just said. She's OG. She is OG. I love it.
See, I remember that.
That's impressive. But that's because you're an athlete.
Yeah.
So
I gotta go feed the athlete's body now because I haven't eaten.
what are you gonna feed your athlete body? Chicken noodle soup? Soup of champions. That's why we've been together for 25 years. He thinks my jokes are funny. Or he just tolerates me. It's one or the other, right, ladies? One or the other. Okay, here we go. I feel like this one's ready to be pulled. So when you're doing ghost prints, if it's not dry, you just end up brayering the paint all over, right? Wheaties. That's what you would think, but I know he's going up to have soup. He is going up to eat soup. Poor Rich is never going to live that down. Oh, I'll forget in 5 minutes. That's the other thing that he probably totally adores, is that my memory is terrible. So I won't even recall. I'll be like, what were we talking about? It was so funny. What happened? And sometimes he'll be like, I'm not even telling you because you were making fun of me. Not telling you what happened. Okay. Let's pick what this is going to go on the back of. It's going to go, nope. Maybe. Okay. It's going to go on the back of this one. Okay, I'm going to pick it up here. Hello, Lori Lee. How are you? Just popped in for a minute or two. So glad I made it for the Vicki and Rich show, Taylor and Kelsey moment. Haha. Like you would understand. Did you have Bargain Heralds? Or is that just a Ontario thing? So it doesn't exist anymore, but it was like a discount store, right? So that's what Rich said, that we're the Bargain Heralds version. Maybe the Tim Hortons version. I don't know, something or else. This is really thick. I don't know if I'll pick up the gold stars. It might not all transfer because that paint is very thick because I went in with the sponge instead of brayering it. So just know that that gold might pick up. It might not. We will see what happens. But very happy to see you here, my friend. So Laura Lee used to be on my design team. She is an incredibly talented Canadian artist and friend. Very happy to see you here. I'm very excited to see. Bargain Heralds was in Manitoba too. That's where I used to get my jelly shoes. Maybe what else was in there? I don't know. Maybe Jordache jeans were. I know that I used to buy jeans in Bargain Heralds. And Garfield corn chips, nacho chips. They'd be like, the bag was as big as, a short person. My mother. Oh, so pretty, friends. I love this. You ready? Look at how pretty that is. I totally love that. I feel like you can hang out as much as you want, I'm going to do a couple more like this. Some little layers like this because I'm really digging it. I need that color again. We need to make a version of that color again. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to punch some more circles. And I am going to do a version of that again because I love it. Well, look, we can do this too. So what was it? I think it was this, right? This green. Let's put this green and this turquoisey green just on the top half and a little dot of this green. And I'm going to brayer this in this edge, in this corner. And I'm going to do another ghost print because it makes me happy. And really, you should make the art that makes you happy. So now I'm going to blend some of that turquoise into that. We're going to lift some of this color off, okay? And then let's put some of that crazy green in there. But I need to take that color down because it's not really what I'm going for. So I'm going to blend now some of that turquoise into that, okay? And then we're going to put a stencil on and we're going to lift most of this pattern off. So let's make a nice blend, okay? I'm going to blend this out a little bit. Make a pretty blend. We're going to touch that green last so it kind of stays with that nice green. And incorporate some of that in there. Oh, I think it was navy on there, wasn't it? Just throw a little bit. Just a little bit. That navy in there. Okay. So now I need to go grab an all over stencil, don't I? Or maybe let's just cheat a little. We'll cheat. Okay. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to lift some of that pigment off. Oh my goodness. I freaking love that. And we'll do some of it in that corner. So what I did was I'm lifting some pigment off, okay? So I've lifted in that corner. We are going to do it again with something else, maybe this one. So tissue paper would work really well with this too, because you can get in closer to your pattern. And then let's go in here with one of our sheets. And I'm going to lift some of that off onto here, okay? Hardly touching. But oh ho 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 ho! Merry Christmas. Look at that. Love that. See what happened there? So this to me is what gel plate printing is all about, right? Is as you start to play, the magic kind of starts to happen. I have to lift some more of this pigment off. So I'm going to rub really hard down this side now. And just lift some of that off. Oh, I'm going to do it in this corner too. How am I going to do that? We'll do it like this. And the only reason being is I don't want, right now it's all kind of a solid pattern. And I want to lift some of it off. Oh, look at that. That makes me joyous. Joyous. Okay. So it's starting to dry now. So I'm not going to really lift much of that now. So let's play with, well, let's take some of that out right here. Let's see what we can get. I'm going to give her now. It's going to kind of give her. And anything I can lift off. Oh, loving that. Right? So it's pretty dry. So right, ooh, up here's a little wet. Let's try. Rub it. Perfect. So love what's happened here. I love that as a background for this mini book. We're going to do some stuff on here after. So this is going to be part of our background, right? We're going to do a ghost print on here. So we're going to add some more like we did before, and gold for sure is going to go on here. So let's wipe our brayer off while that's setting up, and we'll add to this. So you see what happened, right? Anybody confused about anything that's going on tonight? Watching the gel plate magic. And some of these, I'm not going to lie, I'm sitting here going, these are caca poo poo. How am I going to make it look like I know what I'm talking about? Because I am not loving some of this. And that is a good lesson to myself, who does this all the time, is just understand we're only in beginning stages of the layers. You can always make magic happen. So don't judge your art too early in the game, right? Don't judge your art too early in the game. Okay. But freaking love this. Like love this. That was the first one, right? When it was super wet. But this will be a layer that we can layer on top of. But we are going to need to have a white background to pull this on when we're done. So do we have one? Oh, we have this one, this one. I have two here. I have these ones. So these are the ones that I still want to make art on. Right? So here's another thing you can do. So say like you have a lot of business going on. Maybe I want to break up that corner a little bit. You could wet it. If I had water in my, I licked it. I just licked that. And look at, you can take some of this pattern away. I licked my sponge. No shame in the game. And I'm just going to distress some of this, right? I want that pattern to be broken up a little bit. So we're just rubbing some of it off. And we can go in and add another pattern in there, right? Just adding like a little distress, just so it's not one big rectangle of pattern. So just rubbing some of it off. I licked it. Oh, how'd you do that distress? Did you use water? Nope, I used spit. But now I'm just rubbing it off. It actually is just coming off a little bit, right? Perfect. Love it. So let's go in now and just add some pattern in here. Because could you pull this right now with one color? You totally could. I just added DNA to my art. I sure did. We just had a cyclone come through a couple of days ago, and now we have lots of rain, so the moisture in the air is not good for my papers to play with. The gel plate, that totally would be a thing, Lisa, with the humidity. 100% would affect your art. Your paint isn't going to dry at the same speed. Your paper will have moisture, so it's going to be sticky when you put it on the plate. Yeah, 100% is a thing. Thank you for bringing like that point up. That's a lot of paint on that brayer right now. Well, let's give it a wipe. And then what do we want? I want to put some little hints of pink on here. And actually, look at what we can do. That brayer is really, I don't know what I did with my wipes. Oh, here. I need a wet one. Yeah, if I sell my art, you could clone me. I love it. I don't know. That could be like when those movies, like it all goes wrong and you have like 100 of me walking around, and you could regret that decision very quickly. That would be funny, Nat. Okay. So these are very all over patterns, right? So I want to put something in that is more of a specific pattern. And I would like a little bit of the red in there and then gold. Maybe some of the pink, or like, look at this one. It's called Primary Red. And I think it could be fun. Or do you think the red and green is too much? We haven't done it yet. So are you guys okay for me to put a little bit of that and then the gold? Little primary red and then gold? We just won't put a lot of it. Like we'll put it like we did the dots. Let's do that with just some dots of the red. So it's almost like little berries, right? We'll just put some little berries of that primary red in here. Thanks for still sticking around. I know that for some of you, this is probably getting a little late, but this is how I roll when I start doing gel plate printing. So I am just tapping some little red berries in there. I think that could be fun. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I love it. Not much. I'm just going to put a little bit down here too. Not a lot. And then we're going to put some gold on here for reals. Love it. I think it's enough. Although in this corner, because there's nothing going on up here, let's put a little bit. There we go. Very good. Very good. And now some gold. And we will pull that. I don't have a lot of stencils left because they're all in the sink now being washed. Let me try to dry this. I would like to use the star one again, maybe. It's easy, let it go. That is a big, dirty mess. I'm still here. Just a second. I'm going to attempt to dry this big stencil. I'm coming back. But I can't put a wet stencil on there because it'll lift the paint off. Let's see. Is it dry enough? Alien face with Vicky's DNA. Crazy. So what stencils do we have left? Oh, that snow one. That's fun. This one. But they're all, it needs to be something that is more like that. Part of me wants to just lift it. Let's decide here. Friends, how we're going to finish this one up. Oh, I have an idea. You ready? You ready for it? Let's put some circles on here. So we are going to make a little gold palette like this. And we are going to put some rings on here. Now, I have to lift some of that off because it's very thick. So let's find a page that we would like those rings on as an accent, that they will actually show up. Because we have a lot of pattern going on. Let's do it on this one. I'm going to do it down this side, okay? Very fun, right? Look at that. So now, once these dry, we can lift this. Actually, I would like to do one more thing. I have an idea. So let's wait for that to dry. I might pick a little bit more of that because they're still pretty wet. I would do the black splatters at the end, Jan. Like I would just put black splats on my backgrounds. That makes sense. So I feel like they're dry enough. So now here's my next idea. I have these little snowflakes and I'm going to add a little pink snowflake in each one of the circles. Okay. So you really could mask it, right? Let's pick up some of that, put it away. Wipe it. Clean off your palette knife. Clean off this, because these rings could go right directly on your art. You don't have to put them on the gel plate. You could put gold rings all down your art, right? We could stencil a pattern at the end, which is my other thing idea, is I would like to stencil a pattern right on top with textured gold paste, right? Let's pick that up because it's a mess. And I'm going to put some little pink snowflakes inside of those circles and pick that up. Okay, look at messy. Put your lid on your paints. Here we go. Do. I'm going to put that pink and the light portrait pink, both of them. So isolate a little snowflake. Like I said, it might not be perfect because I'm not really masking around it. But I can wipe it up, right, around it. Good enough. You could use a Q-tip. Move that extra pink. And then I can just rub off if you don't get it perfectly in the shape, that just will lift right off. See? Just using my finger. And where I went outside of the pattern, lift that up. This one more pink. Okay, one more. Let's see what this one's gonna look like. What do you think, guys? Is it, I think lots of you are still out there, right? This is a long Saturday, what's today? Friday night. It's a long one. You know how I roll. I might lift a couple of these. They could be a little bit wet, but we can lift up just a couple of them. It's gone from intermediate to advanced. Craziness happens, right? When you're hanging out with me, Serenity. I'm just going to lift a little bit of that. Only because the paint, right, was really wet. So love it. A hint. There we go. Let that dry. We'll lift that one. And then we'll just do a couple. I'm going to do, you know how I did the whole background and then we just lifted a little bit of pattern? I'm going to do some of that on my backgrounds and I'll be done, right? Because I love this one. Super simple, but that was just lifting up some of that paint. So I'm going to do an all over background like that one again, lift it, and then to finish some of these we'll be stenciling or stamping on top of. This one I'm going to stencil gold on here. And then two, these, right, how I did them, my plan was to cut them like this, but then the words are going the wrong way. I did not think before I did that one. You're tapping out. Thanks for the chuckle. See you later, Julianne. Still here. I think I need to do more of this. It is definitely a practice one. You're the most awesomeness is going to come from practice and play. So which one had nothing on the back? What are we lifting with? This one? With that. So I have this that I can lift that pattern on, or this one I can lift that on, which I might, it might be that one. Okay, what do you think? You think I can get the white on here yet? I'm gonna do it. I'm going for it. So white paint, we're doing a ghost print. We're gonna lift it. Don't need much, right? Onion skin layer. I'm excited to see what this one's gonna look like. I'm excited to see it. Oops. Brayer down. Brayer down. So I was excited because I'm like, when I'm done this, I'm going to bed tonight. I'm gonna have a good night's sleep. And then Devin's like, will you pick us up tonight? And I'm like, there goes my good night's sleep. But I'm like, I will never say no because I like them to get home safe, right? But I'm like, I sure will. But I'm gonna set my alarm. I did not center this very well. Are you ready? So now what is our goal? So I'm moving this all over. Is you got to apply pressure. And before I commit to lifting, I will make sure, because this gold, I don't know, I might not be able to pick the circles up. We'll see. Oop, I did, see? Just get in there, make sure your hands are clean so you don't wreck, because I love this one. I love this one. Hi, Holly. Here we go. It is very pretty. Very pretty. Now, we have dark green in the background, right? So it's not, the pink is lighter than the green. So the only other thing you could have done is before you put those pink circles in, you could stamp the gold and then you could have cleaned the center out. Does that make sense? And then you'd have more of a snowflake show. I'll show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So I love it, but I want to show you something. To me, this is a good learning thing. We'll just put that in some of the turquoise, because I'm also going to use this to lift some color as well. Grab that brayer I dropped, and I'm going to show you something, what I was talking about. So say when you're starting with something dark like this, right? Pretty dark. This is a pretty dark business going on this one. So let's say we start with that dark business. Oops. Now my tape is all not attached anymore. Okay. Dark business. Let's put some of that navy in there like we did before. Dark business. Okay, dark business, right? So we went in with the stencil and we lifted some of that dark business. Let's go in with the snowflake one. Okay, so I'm going to put that down like that, and I'm going to lift some of those edges. All right, I'm going to rub that, trying to do the things with one hand. Let's see. Right, so I'm lifting some of that through the stencil. I'm going to position it down here, and I'm going to lift some more of that through the stencil. Not much came up. Well, let's just lift that off. I did lift pattern, and then let's go in. I want another What is left here? They're all in the sink. So now I just gotta find what I have, which I have this. So let's lift some of that off. Okay, good enough. Okay. To show the lesson. That's what I said. Okay, grabbing another one here. Let's see. Let's break up some of that. No, it should be good enough. I think this is going to be almost dry. So we're going to lift now some of that pattern we just created, right? Remember how we did that? So what doesn't have much business going on right now that I want to add to? Any of them? Well, we'll just do this, okay? So see, what will happen now is I can lift a little bit of that navy, take some of that away, right? And that will give us that. I got to tape that down. See, it's moving all over because it's on a sheet of paper. Oh, I love that. I love when that happens. There we go. Ooh, look at what's going on there. She's a devil. That's what song's in my head now. Don't even know why. Okay, so let's put her tape back down. This girl here. So I want to show you again now, adding the little snowflakes, but a way to make it. So we'll go in with our gold again, okay? We're doing the same thing. Actually, let's go in with red. We'll go in with gold with something else. Maybe gold snowflakes. We'll do gold snowflakes. Although if I go in with gold snowflakes, they will show up, just so you know. The gold snowflakes would show up because it's a heavier paper. Got to be careful when you're using red, though, what you're going to use red with, so it doesn't look like a crime scene. But let's do that. I think it still, for Christmas, will be good. We don't want a Christmas crime scene. That would be an interesting Hallmark movie, wouldn't it? The Christmas crime scene. Okay. Now, I want to show you what I was talking about. We're going to lift some of that. Because they're going to be really wet. Oh, look at that. It's so freaking awesome. Love it. Love that. Love that. Do you love that, guys? I love that. So now I'm going to put stars in here, but I have not put my tree up, Michelle, because all I do is work. I work, work, work. I was there till 11 o'clock last night, printing labels, and then went, okay, I best go home because I don't think it's really safe to be leaving work at 11 o'clock by myself at night. So I got in the car, came home, went to bed, got up, met my mother-in-law for lunch, and went back to work. Had supper, came back down, did a live. So that's why I'm taking Sunday completely off. I need to do some life things, right? I need to do some life things. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to clean the inside of these out. So let's see, find, and we're going to remove some of that paint inside the circle. Because why we have to do this, if you don't, all that layer of turquoise is on, when you go to pull your print, your pink snowflake has a layer of turquoise because that's the first thing on the plate, right? It's about 15 minutes away, Poppy, but it's in like not the, those kind of industrial kind of things, not the best area of town. So it's really not a safe thing for me to be coming home or leaving there that late. But I wanted to get as many of them printed, the labels printed as I could. I want everybody to have their stuff. And so I can take a break guilt-free, right? That everybody has their orders, everything's gone through, and I can take a break, right? Life stuff is important. Please take care of yourself. Thank you. I just added more DNA, Natalie. I totally licked the sponge. Did you notice that? So now we have removed the pattern. So when we pull the print, these stars are going to show up first. Let's do them in gold. I'm so excited, right? Let's do gold stars now. every time I use red, right? You got to be careful because it looks like a crime scene, right? It looks like a little CSI going on. But these are pretty. Like, look at them on here. Look at it Look at them on here. I love that background. And this was a sheet we just used as a cleanup page. Oh my goodness. Very exciting. Okay. There's still some pink on here, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to go on here and I'm going to put little gold stars. It's going to be a little harder to clean up than the pink was when you go outside of them, but I'm going with it. Look what I just wiped all of it. So I'm not going to wipe as much because I just wiped my ring off. And I don't think I have any red paint left on there. But we can add red paint. That's not the end of the world, Vicki. You can't really, Poppy. That's why you got to use those mediums, right? You can't really add water to it. I think the water will make it dry. Maybe glycerin. Maybe if you added some glycerin. There. I fixed that up a little bit because I wrecked it. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's harder with the glaze because it's just so much thicker. But we're going to do it. We're doing it. Love it. Okay, love it. Now I want a little bit of pink on here, so I am going to add a little bit of pink. We could do those snowflakes, right? Or the dots. Yeah, sure we can. Ooh, do do do. Now you're chanting lick the sponge. I did. I licked it. Can't help it. I don't want to get up and get water, so I did the crazies. That's going to be pretty. Okay, and step away. So I think this is good. I am going to lift a little bit of that snow up. It's a lot of pink. Oh, so pretty. Okay, very fun. We're gonna let that dry a little bit. We're gonna lift that with white. But we just created a background by layering, removing, adding. We take it away, we add some more. My sink is gonna have to be cleaned. It is looking pretty bad. Okay, take a little quick clean break. This is going to be really fun. This is going to be a really fun project to wrap up. What year is it? 2023? Is that what we're in? You laugh, but I don't even know if I'm coming or going. Well, you might not laugh. You might be like, wow, lady. Question. Are those stencils from Peppermint Kisses? Which they're all Vicki Boutin stencils except for the big ones. This snowflake is Peppermint Kisses, but these are like these are both Peppermint Kisses and the plaid. And the plaid one, that's the set for this year. Had to help hubby move stuff of the Lanny for the storm tomorrow. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that's scary, right? Okay. Oh, there's a little bit more pink. I'm going for it. We're lifting it. I have no patience. So let's see what this looks like now. In the circle, right? When I go to the dollar store, I buy all different sizes of plastic cups. I use them all the time in my art. I will go to the dollar store and I will also find different lids and anything that will make an impression, right? Or create art. These gold, I hope I have enough weight on there. I might have to put a little bit more to lift these. Let's get that on there. See, and then the gold will pick up the white. I need a good layer of the white on that gold. So they'll lift, transfer. Let's see. Are you excited to see this reveal? Ghost print in action. Here we go. What paper were we putting it on? This one. Okay. Trying to line it up nicely. Here we go. See you later, Vicki. Are your nails dry? Are your nails dry? There we go. Oops. Let's see. Did I rub enough? Let's rub that gold a little bit more. Oh my goodness, I love this. Are you ready? Look at how pretty that is. What do you guys think? So, where I cleaned the inside of these out now, do you see comparatively? You couldn't really see the pink, right? Because that layer of green was underneath the pink. Like when you lift it, it's going to be the first layer you put down is what you'll see first. So love that. Love that. This is more subtle because the green was on there, right? So just removing that. So the pink, because it's such a lighter color, the green was on there first, right? So love that. That's front and back. I can die cut out of that. That is front and back. I can die cut out of that. Front and back. This is nice and subtle. So I want to show you now where I don't know, maybe a little bit more. Oh, look how pretty that one is. I might do just a little bit more gel plate. I freaking love this one. So we will have to do a little bit more on the back of that. I have that one, but there's not. So this one needs a little bit. These three. Let's look. I love the subtleness of that. So I don't want to add much more. That's good. Love that. Need a little bit more of that business. This is kind of what we're going to go for in our next one. Totally okay with the subtle gold star. Absolutely love that and that. So I am going to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to look, let's do some quick printmaking to finish these sheets up. So we need something that has just a very simple open space. So we could use the circles. We could use, let's find something. See, we don't want this. It's all over, right? That's an all over pattern. And I don't really want to do that. So we need something. I'm going to grab, oh, we could do some more rings, couldn't we? But that's a lot of circles. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Love it. Let's use this one from Tim. So I'm going to use this one for my friend Tim Holtz. And what colors do I want? That one I'm good with. We're not doing anything on there. I need something on here. So I'm going to just do a pattern on here. What color do we want to add? Let's add green. Let's go green on there. So we're going to add some green. This color green. It's quite bright. So we're going to do it through the stencil. So I am going to be creating a row of pattern down here like this. Rub it and lift. And then we have where the paint was on the stencil and where it's through the stencil. So let's do a little bit more. It's not going to perfectly line up. I'm not trying to. I'm just going to add a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we have a little bit of pattern down there. Do we want to add that anywhere here? Let's go for it. Love it. Okay. Look, add a little bit of that pattern. Love it. So now let's add some all over pattern with that too. Thanks for hanging around. This is a long one tonight, but whatever. Who needs sleep? I'm sure some of you are like me. That's why I'm leaving now. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of that. What else can we put in there? How about a little bit of this with some of the lime green? Turquoise. Let's go turquoise. Ooh, very fun. So, right, just a little bit of subtle pattern to here. We'll put a little bit of pink on that one. Maybe not. I don't want them all to have the pink. We'll just leave that. But see, even once it's cut out, I just need a little bit of something in there. Just a little bit of something. And we could go with the rings again. Let's put some gold rings on there. I just need front and back, right? Because maybe not. Watch what I'm going to do instead. The only thing with adding your stuff with the gel plate is that it dries faster, right? So we'll add that right there. Hi, Keisha. Fun. Fun, fun. So I'm happy enough with that. There's color on it. Front and back is good. I think I've done everything. Let's add a couple stars down this side. In gold. Let's do it in gold. So Keisha, I'm coming to Texas, right, in April. And I just booked myself because I did not know that Chip and Joanna have a new hotel in Waco. I think it's called 1920 or something. 1920, 25, something. So I just booked myself a stay. I'm going to go to Waco again. I want to turn this though. Yes, I'm going to turn it this way. That didn't turn out all that awesomely, but that's okay. There's too much pattern on there. But yes, I'm going to go stay at that hotel. It's only for a night, but I want to go back and have biscuits at the restaurant there, the Magnolia restaurant. Oh my goodness. Have you guys been to Magnolia? I want to go back and have the biscuits with that strawberry butter at Magnolia. Let's put that on here somewhere. Which one are we going to put it on? Now that I pretty much kind of wrecked that, but I'll put something on it. I can fix it. I can do anything I set my mind to. Put it on here. I'll pick the stars up on this one. I do want them to be like that. Hey, that's all personal. I love Waco, though. There is an amazing scrapbook store in Waco. So I went to that and thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm telling you, I loved the restaurant just for the biscuits. I'm telling you, those biscuits, holy Mackinac with the strawberry butter. I want to do something. Look at that. I need that on something. Maybe on here. So let's do this. I'm going to do this. You ready? I'm going to try to press that in there. I don't know. Could be pretty dry. So I'm sure, like everything, it's personal preference, right? Not everybody would love that, but I've been this will be my third time. I gotta watch because this could glue to this background, but I'm hoping please let some of that transfer. I gotta wet it. Okay, I'm gonna mist it. Give me a second to fill my mister and try to get some of that to transfer. Ooh, shoot it devil. I'm gonna try to get some of that to transfer. Let's try. We're gonna try. I wet it. I'm gonna press on it and hope for the best. Oh, get ready for it. Oh my goodness. Do you see what happened there? Isn't that pretty? I absolutely love that. Let's see if we can get more of it off. I'm going to try to get it on the gel plate. Oh, but we have these to lift. So I can't. So what else? Where else do I want to put that gold? Let's try to put it on here because I don't love this background. So we're going to try to put some of it on there. A little bit of it came off. Right? A little bit of it came off. And it actually toned that down a bit. So I'm not mad about it. Okay. Yes, but I'm totally going to Waco because it's my birthday when I'm there. Well, my birthday is on the Wednesday. So when I'm in Texas, my birthday is on the Wednesday. So I thought I'm going to stay for a couple extra days and I'm going to Waco. And then I reached out to my friend and said, hey, want to go to Waco? Mermaid vibes. I love it, right? And we're going to do that. How many prints do we need for the album? Well, we need 6 pages because we're going to do the 12 days or top 12 of Christmas. So I'm going to put numbers on every page. So let's see where we're at. Okay. I freaking love this one. And that was just putting water on that dirty stencil all day long. I love this one. And then I'll figure out this needs a little work. Right? And that one, I'm not loving the background of that, but this one and this one I'm going to work on. I'm going to do something on the back of it. It's too much. I need to tone it down. And then we still need to pick this print up. So maybe, which one do I love this and I love this. Like these are 2 of my favorites. And these were just cleaning things, right? So we still have these stars to pick up. What can we pick it up on? Love that. I'm going to, I wish they were wet because that would be beautiful on here, wouldn't it? Pick up, oh, you know what we can do? Here we go. What do? Do you guys think to pick up those stars? We use the matte acrylic gel. So we'll be able to pick that up, but it's not white. So if it was white, that would cover, get that little booby off, the pink, right? If I put matte acrylic gel down, I can pick those gold stars up transparently, right? It's not going to have any opacity. Oops, that was too much, just so you know. I'm not going to put all that on there. That's too much, crazy lady. Okay, let's see how this is going to turn out. I want it to be really pretty. Wish me luck, because I'm going in. Very pretty. But there's a lot of business going on here. So now, look at that. It picked up the green. Very pretty, don't you think? So you can see the stars, but they're very subtle. See the stars, but they're very subtle. I love it. Love it. Love it. Want to add to that one that I don't love. And I'm going to take it down. I'm going to take this down. So how could we do that? How could we take it down a notch? What color do we want to put on that now? I'm going to be crazy. And I'm going to put the pink on. But I don't want pink everywhere. So what we're going to do is just put some pink on here. Pick it up with some scrap. Because I'm not going to use all of these, right? I'm going to put that right in the middle. I'm totally going for it. Let's see. So now I took that pattern down a bit, and that makes me happier. I have a solid area in there. And I'm going to lift some of it up on here too. Taking that down. Now I still can put one more pattern in the middle, like a green. Right? I can still put that pattern down in a green. And I'm going to lift some of what's going on there on here. Because there's like a hint of star on there, I think. Still, I can pick up. Not really. But I love that. It's just kind of bruising, right? The bruising of the pink. So how are we going to finish these? I'm going to tell you how now. I'm getting rid of this. I'm done gel plate printing. So now my final step, and then we have to die cut, right? Which you don't have to do with me. I'll die cut one to show you. Or you could cut them out into tags or whatever you're going to use for your book. Because some of this is going to kind of crush you. Because we're going to cut out of the middle of it. But it's just a piece of paper and your time. You could always make more. Photograph it maybe before you cut it. If you love one of your patterns and you don't want to cut into it, because it's meant to be used, right? Your art's meant to be used. But let's talk about this next step. Thank you for still hanging out on my 12-hour Friday Night Live. 12 hours later. Because I really, really, really love this one. Like, I love this. And I feel like we can get 2 pages out of that. But they're going to go this way, right? Because then I could get 2 out of that. But I want to do some more business on this because it's kind of bugging me. But really, when you put a photo on it, it doesn't have to bug me, does it? So maybe I should step away from that one. Like maybe step away, because think once we cut our shapes out of it, and I think I'm going to cut tags. I think that's what I'm going to cut is tags. I think sometimes it is okay that they're not perfect. Remember, because it's just a layer. We still have to put pattern paper, mats, and embellishments on it. So I'm just doing this because this always makes me happier, is to clean up a little bit. And now don't forget to clean your brayers too. Yes, step away, right? I agree. But there are things, let me show you, because I would like this on one of them at least, and I have to let it dry. Although I could die cut, I could probably stencil it after it's die cutted. Die cutted it. That paint is really dry on there. You got to clean your brayers too, because see, when you get these paint chunks, that will, every time you brayer, you're going to leave that pattern, that little nipple, little paint imperfection on your brayer will leave that pattern, right? So you got to clean them. But I left this too long. It's really on there. So I'll just have to let it soak and I'll clean it off. Right? Murphy's whatever oil will clean your brayers. Like you just pop this out, right? This is why I like it. Here we go. I'm showing you. I can't do it. Don't have the strength tonight. There. These come off. So I don't clean the whole thing. I'll just soak that. Your brayer really does matter. You don't want the wire brayer. You want the brayer, the rubbery brayer, in the more stable housing. Because sometimes I will have brayers that just don't do a good job. So people will be like, see, I can't do this gel plate printing. And I'm like, again, it's not you, it's the tools. So just be aware, right? So what I was saying, with any of these, right? You can come in and you can stencil on top. Can I show you something? We need something that's kind of an all over pattern. Because you can come in here and you could ink on this too. And what will end up happening is where your painted areas are will resist the ink, the distress ink, right? This one, remember? So I'm going to use it. No, I'm going to have to use it like this. So what I was saying, we could take a stencil like that. We'll do it like this with the gold glaze. My mother is probably home and she's like, you're still at it? Yes, of course I am, Sheila. I'm not going to use this either. I use my stencil brush. Watch what can happen now. Ta-da! How pretty is that? Right? So if you have something that you're not maybe digging completely, you're like, ooh, I don't love how that turned out. Then stencil a layer of texture paste. And you could come in here and make it do a stenciled layer, right, with a stencil brush, and then a textural layer with the texture paste. And let it dry. Look at that. So the layer that you go in with the stencil brush is very soft and kind of brush gold. And then you put a little bit of texture on it and you have two versions of gold, right? I love it on there. Now, this page that I actually didn't like at all is one of my favorites because I didn't quit. Don't quit. Love that. So what else do we want gold on? So that's got it. Now you can't touch that till tomorrow. That's got to sit and dry. So let's look at, you know how we did the, you could totally do stars in here, mask it, and you could put gold stars down your page. Remember this business? So let's look. It needs to be something with lots of open space now. Because I could put like a whole gold thing on here. Let's just go for it because I have it. Let's just do it. See it, right? If I don't like this one, I don't have to use it. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to make a whole rectangle of gold. And if this gets where it's not moving very well, just give it, where did my water, a blast with one blast. Okay? That just is going to reconstitute the paint or the glaze. I don't want this wet, but I need it to go a little farther so I can fill that whole rectangle with gold. So see what it's going to be? Very pretty. We'll add our texture layer. We'll have more opacity with that, right? Love it. Now we have that gold layer on there. Okay, set that aside to dry. I'm going to use this one more time just because we can use what's on here and is dirty on the stencil. Remember, let's wet it. And we can go in and brayer that on. Can I show you something? Got to work fast, but let's do this. And let's grab a distress ink very quickly. Can I do it quick enough? Let's see. I'm throwing stuff because it'll glue to your paper. You got to work pretty quick. I'm going to try to do this before I tear the paper because if it glues to the background, that's going to happen, right? Let's see. Look at that. Super pretty. So I cleaned my stencil off and then inked that through. Let's find one more background we don't love. And it's this one. So I'm going to go in with that blending and clean your stencil brush. This is how. Don't leave that on here. Okay, don't leave it on your palette knife. Don't leave it on your stencil brush. And this is what we do, right? Either with a wipe or wet the end of it. And just do this. You do not need to soak this in water, just clean it. Otherwise that will go crusty. The clown. Okay. There. I can clean it some more as long as it's wet. There we go. I've said that 12 times, right? There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to add some of that green on here with another stencil. I actually would like to use oxide ink. Very much so, right? Oh, I've cracked pistachio. That could work on there, couldn't it? I just don't know if it'll work with my Going with rustic wilderness. And now we want a pretty all over pattern. Okay. Try it. Hello, Christine. Yeah. Ready? Gonna go in with this. Where it's going to cover the majority of the pattern. I'm going in with the oxide because it's opaque, right? And that will quiet this pattern down. So when I die cut out of it, it will work, see, as a nice background for the scrapbook page in the mini book, in our tag book, right? There. How pretty is that? I love it. It almost looks like it's flocked on top. So any pattern that I want to quiet down, you could go in with the oxide. You would have to let this dry. And if it doesn't completely dry, you might brayer some of the stuff. Part 2 is not next Friday because remember, Vicky's taking a break. Part 2 is going to be this week. And I think part 2 might be on Tuesday. I know it's random and a weird day. And if you can't watch live, it's not a big deal. But I feel like I have stuff I have to do before the holidays. So I am thinking it's probably going to be on Tuesday. But here's what we made tonight, friends. And this is what I wanted to tell you about your dies. So deciding what you want, what do you want, what shapes do you want to use to make this mini book, right? So you could do a hexagon. You could do a tag mini book. You could do a flag banner. You could have a Christmas tree mini book, stars. You could do a mix of any of these. You could just do a straightforward rectangle. So, or you could just cut it. You might be like, Vicki, but I don't have dies, so I don't really want to do that. Then don't. Just cut a tag shape out. But I want you to kind of get an idea of what I'm going to do. Are we okay if I do this? Flag banners? And then what size do I want this to be? So this banner is I'm going to do the one that's 5 by 7-ish. I'm going to do the flag banner. So I'm going to use this die. And I want you to see now, when we take the art and cut it down, what we end up getting. So this one, right, I want to kind of pick, but I have to be aware of what's on the front and the back. Like, look how pretty that is. So will I get the green on there? I think that I will. So some of them, right, we can get 2 out of it. Some we're going to cut, like this one, because how my stars are going, I'm going to be cutting like that. Right? Let me show you. I like it. What it looks like now with contained funk. So you have options though. You could use one side and you could I need to cut this out, right? So that it'll fit in my machine. So this is, I need to cut it 6-inch pieces. Okay. And any of my scraps I can use for something else. Right? Right? That can be used. Do. It is, do you not find like it's hard? I don't want to cover these with anything. I don't want to put photos on them. Because sometimes I'm just like, I just love the art. And that is tough, man. I don't know how many pieces, I don't know. But sandwich I need, let's try it. Not that. Need another piece. In my sandwich. Did that do it? I don't think so. I'm going to have to put a wedge in there, I think. We'll see, though. Never know. I just don't feel like there was enough pressure. 6. Serenity. I'm going to do 6 pages. Did it cut? It did. Ew, not all the way, though. I knew it wasn't thick enough, but I can fix that. Right? It didn't cut there. That's not the end of the world. I'm just cutting it off camera, okay? Just gonna cut the top off camera. At least it's a straight line. And we'll pretend it cut. I'll put a wedge. But look at now our art as contained funk. How pretty is that? And then any of my scraps, I'm not throwing away. I'm going to use these on cards or something else. Let's do one more. Let's pick another one. But totally love that. Totally love it. Don't want to do anything to it. After I said to you guys, don't be like that. And now I'm like, I want to use it. I'm just using 6 pages. So it will be like a 12 page, right? Just going to use the 6. Let's cut it out of this one now. That black ended up turning kind of purple. I'm all right if those go sideways. Walk on by. Because you have your front and back, right? How the art is on this one, I'm going to end up losing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to trim it there. Now, remember, my sandwich isn't thick enough. So what I will do, that's a little too thick. I'm going to put a wedge or a shim. We'll just do it. Let's see. That's probably not going to be enough, but we'll see. We'll try it. Good night, Mommy. Because it is 11:15. I know, I'm crazy. I'm only going to do this one, and then I'll cut these on my own. That's my mama saying good night because she's like, you're crazy. I won't call you tonight. I'll call you tomorrow. Okay, Mama? There. It worked. Look how pretty. Right? There. And there. So this is non-traditional with the colors that I chose, right? But I will still Christmasify it. Christmasify it. Right? But that's how I'm gonna finish, friends. Do like 8 pages, like do a whole series of pages, because I still have this when it dries. Do a whole series of pages when you cut it out, and then you can decide which ones you want to use for the album. Okay, but do at least 8. Let's say do at least 8, because you will have a front and a back. Now I might end up switching it, and I might do the book like this, non-traditional. Instead of it flipping, it might turn. I might do it like that. Okay. Sorry, it's not even on screen. It might end up being like this. So make sure that you do a whole bunch. Cut them out. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. I'm going to start at 7 because it's going to take a while. If you cannot join live or you can't work with me live, but at least you can come and see me and say hello and Merry Christmas. I would love that, because that will be my last live until the new year. I am going to take a break. I have to clean my house. I have to get my life in order. I have to do laundry. So like I said, these ended up, I told you I was going to make it very simple. It ended up not being very traditional. So you know what's awesome is you don't have to make this a Christmas album if you don't want to. Right? It doesn't have to be a Christmas album if you don't want to. Like this, if I would have done all the pages like this, would have been magic. Right? But whatever. Let's see what we can make out of it. I can make anything work. The only thing is we didn't use very much red, did we? And there's a lot of red in that collection. But maybe I won't use all Peppermint Kisses. Maybe I'll pull out some Tim Holtz. Maybe I'll pull out some of my Tim Holtz or some of the older collections. My older Christmas collections, not necessarily Vicki Boutin. I just mean older Christmas collections I have in my stash. But let me say a proper see you later to you guys. That was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I laughed that I should have went a little bit more traditional so it would have worked with the collections, but we'll see. We will see if it's going to work, because I'm saying probably not. Some of it, right? Some of it would. Like if I go in with the solids, I totally can make that work, which isn't a bad look at. We could do like that, right? And go in and make it a very rainbowy Christmas. There's no rules. We'll do the things. We'll figure it out. I'm going to say goodbye to you for now. And then I'm going to see you on Tuesday. And that is going to be a lot of fun here at the stage. Oops, sorry. There we go. Sorry about that, friends. For some reason, it wasn't on there. And then I made you deaf. But that was a lot of fun, friends. These turned out. They're really fun prints. I love that one. I love it. I love the texture. So if you couldn't see that, look at, oh, I love it. So pretty. I don't want to cover them. This is what ends up happening. I love the gel plate printing. We're going to be doing a lot of it in the new year. So be ready for it. Be ready. Be prepared. It's going to be a lot of fun. I could just sit and print make. Just print make all night. I would love to make it into fabrics. Wouldn't that be fun? And also the idea that we can now clone Vicki with one of the prints, because I was licking everything. I was licking my art tonight. But thank you for joining me. My soul is full. That is a lot of fun. Hope you get lots of stuff done for your holiday prep, and just good time being good to yourself and the people around you. Take a break. I know I'm talking to some friends that are having a little bit of struggles this time of year and aren't feeling super Christmassy. Then make some art that doesn't have to do anything with the holidays. You spend your time during December the way that's best for your mind, body, and spirit. And just come and make art with me. I think it is a good remedy, a good soul blanket, all of those things. I had a lot of fun tonight. I am looking forward to creating something with this. So, things that you will need on Tuesday, make it very simple. That, like, I might put all mini photos on here. So, lots of the art shows. Duplications, like where we're going to take maybe 2 or 3 page designs and we're going to replicate those. So, you'll need cardstock. You will need, if you want some pattern paper, you will need something to embellish with, but you could use something like this, which I might do, and just use some dies and do die cut some art so that I can do some simplified rest the pattern backgrounds. Maybe I'll pull out my sewing machine I got last Christmas that hasn't come out of the box, because stitching on these would be a lot of fun too. So whatever you want to do, you grab your things and join me on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to turn this into some kind of mini book. And I can't wait. And I'll see you then. Have a great weekend. See you later, friends. This was fun. Oh, don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, follow, do all the things, comment after the fact if you weren't watching live. Welcome. Glad that you made it. And also on Tuesday, giveaways. I'm going to do some giveaways to vickybooten.com. So make sure that that will run. I will probably draw the winners on December 26th. So everybody has a chance to get in there. But I think it might only be on YouTube. I might only do it on YouTube. So it's just easy for me to pick winners. We'll do it on one spot. So this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be making a mini album out of the prints that we made tonight. And I'm going to do giveaways, and it's all going to be on YouTube. It will not be on Facebook. Okay. We'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend, my friends. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Nat, for being my sidekick as always. And we'll see you later.